Alright guys, let's make sure I'm not too loud. Hi, my name's Daryl. How you doing? How's everybody's weekend going? I doubt that there's going to be a lot of people on tonight. Denise is actually at a jazz concert, jazz thing. So I don't think she's going to be on, at least while I'm live anyway. So, make sure I got everything okay. Do I want it like this? I think that's better. Alright. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Oh. That's right, I did that on live. I told you guys I was silly how I get started. Sorry. Anyway. When everybody gets on, let me know how your weekend went. How are you guys going? I hope that you guys had a better night last night than I did. Oh, Lord in heaven. Okay. I'm going to give it a little bit longer for people to get on. I don't know. I guess I'll give it another minute or so. I didn't expect for a lot of people to be on tonight just because it is a nice night and everything. And everybody seems to be barbecuing and stuff like that around me anyway. So I don't know how it is where you are. And I know a couple people that are at work right now. Hey, what's up, Tanya? So I'm going, hey Tanya, you get a special privilege tonight. If I can actually do it. Add as moderator. Alright, Tanya. Guess what, Tanya? You're a managing moderator. Present. And then Lori can be, and then Lori is going to be added as a standard moderator. So Lori, tonight your job tonight is, I'll sing if I want to. Thank you. Anyway, Tanya's a regular moderator, or the managing moderator, and Lori, you're gonna be the the standard moderator. Okay, both of you two. Just in case you don't understand how this works, it's not really a job so much as you're just making sure people don't attack each other. You're special. You're gonna make sure that people don't attack each other. We don't do racism here. We don't do that. We don't attack each other for each other's opinion. You're not, what I'm saying, you're not gonna put down people, that kind of thing. All right, so let's get started here. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of War Poetry Gaming, and what we do here is listen to you talk. Get this right. I hope everybody's weekend is going well. Just to remind you, guys, I just want to make sure it's very clear to everybody here so we don't get our wires crossed. This is my live video, all right? You're here to make comments on things I say, and I'll either see your comments and I'll make a comment if I think it's relevant, or you'll be talking to yourself because I won't be responding to you. So for example, comments like "don't sing." If I want to sing if I want to sing, I can sing. All right. There's plenty of shows on tonight. Plenty of shows. There's plenty of people going out and barbecuing. There's a barbecue out back. I'm sure that you can just go out there and have a barbecue with people. All right. I'm not in the best of moods today, just because of what happened last night, and so I'm not really that patient for that kind of stuff today. Okay, just giving a forewarning that if I see that kind of thing, just like that sort of thing that's not participating in the conversation, I don't really want you on here. Okay. All right, because I'm about to talk about some really personal things that I told you guys I would be honest with you. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you about everything. All right. So last night I was gonna get on live. I didn't even put up. I didn't even get a chance to put up. I'm having one of my moments, and it'll probably be for the next month. I have to put myself on ulcer regimen, which means I pretty much take Carafate four times a day. Now, what that does is protect my stomach. And in case you guys don't know, I've had an ulcer since I was in 5th grade. In 2013, I had a hole in my stomach so big I almost bled out and died. Okay? So, even tonight I was in a little bit of pain. I mean, that's one thing that you guys don't ever know, that like sometimes I get on here and I'm in pain, so I'm not in the mood for, if like, so for example, if I'm trying to make myself feel better by, I don't know, singing or acting silly, it's because I'm making myself feel better. Understand? So, like, got it? All right, so, but last night was awful. Last night was awful. It was effing awful. I mean, my God. Sophia feels so sorry for me. There was nothing I could do. I wanted to get on last night, but at 6, I was even at 6 o'clock, I was still thinking about doing the live. But by 7 o'clock, because the coolest thing about these live things is I can do it instantaneously. I don't have to have it set for a reminder, right? Like, I can literally get on live if I want to. But thank you, Tanya. But I have to be very. I don't get these stomach problems all the time anymore because I do take medicine. You know, I take Carafate. Problem is, Daryl likes spicy food. Simple as that. And normally spicy food actually, so long as I'm taking my medicines, doesn't bother me as bad as you think it would. But I actually think that I actually have probably a small ulcer right now, because I can tell it's a different type of pain. It's not just some bloatedness or anything. I get those problems too. I don't know. I couldn't tell you where I got it from. I know that the year before, yes, I know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I love jalapenos. The year before I almost bled out in 2013, 2012, they said I had H. pylori. Well, that makes sense, because the thing is, when I was in 5th grade, I had an ulcer. I found out that the hard way because I ate my mom's tacos. My mom cooked really good tacos. I ate my mom's tacos and I was in severe pain. And when I mean my pain is, I passed out for 4 hours last night. Passed out. Didn't wake up till 10 o'clock. 10:30. That's why I didn't respond to none of you guys. It's awful. Now, all I have to say is you'd have to ask Sophia. She's the one that has to see it. So just so you know, I do have those problems sometimes. And for the next month, I will probably have those problems. So, like, for example, forewarning again, if I'm in, no, it's not, Tanya. It's awful. So if I'm in the middle of live and I say that I'm going to let you guys listen to music and I need to go have a smoke, that should be interpreted as Daryl is having a cramp, a problem, and I need to step outside for a minute. So just be patient with me when I do these lives and so forth and so on. But just like on Sundays, I want to start off the week good. I think on Saturdays I'm going to make these lives about thoughts that I have during the week, and if you guys want to have a discussion about those sorts of things, and I'm just going to talk. If you guys want to participate, just let me know in the comments. Remember, like, subscribe, share, and follow. The message cannot possibly get out if you just keep it to yourself. If you come on these lives, you come on these videos, and you're just not sharing, you're not doing nothing, you're not helping me at all. I don't need help with money so much. Okay, I have for those of you, not that it's any of your business, but just so you know, just so you understand what goes on here. Sophia will be going to Minnesota in the springtime. We were just discussing this, or sometime after that. The point is, she might have to get another lease here. She has to find a job up there first. But or she has to switch her veteran VA up there. But me and Dwan are going to have our own place, okay? And we're probably going to get, no matter what happens, we are moving in the spring. I highly doubt we're going to be able to live in Plano. It's just too expensive for me and Dwan. And so there's a couple places we have a thought process on about maybe where we're going to be moving. We'll see. But there's one place that we lived at before, but we lived in a different we lived in a smaller 2-bedroom. But I need a big enough place where it's me and Dwan. It's our own little section, so we're not bumping each other all the time. But also, so I can have my office like I have it here. Okay, so it has to be big enough. But check this out, and because we're splitting rent, it won't matter. I also have a Roth IRA. Okay, I put money in that every single time I get an SSI check, and that's one of the reasons why I'm broke all the time now, because I'm saving for my future. I have to do this. Okay, and that's why Sophia's helping me with that sort of thing, and Denise sends me money every month. But it's the most important thing that, everybody keeps asking me, well, how can I help you, Daryl? Okay, unless you have $1 million, you can help me a little bit with that. I mean, if that's really what pleases you. What you can help me with is by sharing the message. The only way that we're going to help people, the only way that I'm going to get my message and Dwan's going to get his message out is by doing that, okay? So I just want to make sure these things are up front so people understand. It's like, well, what do you want me to do? I don't want you to do anything. It's about you wanting to do something. I can't force you to do anything for me. That is narcissistic for me to go, by the way, come to my videos, give me money. What the hell do you think I am? What's the name of that televangelist? I'm a televangelist asking for you for money. God says, give you money. Give me money. No, it's not the way that works. I have a plan, like I've said before, and since Tanya's new to this, and some other people that come on here are new to this, they don't understand how this is supposed to be working. I can, like on my Facebook page, if you subscribe to my Facebook channel, you can give me money like that. I mean, it costs money to subscribe. If you give me stars on Facebook, on Instagram, now I don't have it completely set up actually on Instagram. You can also subscribe on Instagram. Okay, that costs money to do that. But on here, on YouTube, it's free. Absolutely free. I don't have enough subscribers to that's why I have to do it through other ways and have Roth IRA and save my money and stuff. 3 sources of income. That's the new business model for YouTube channels. 3 sources of income, and then I don't have to charge a single person. I hate the idea of charging a human being for help. Here, let me help you, Tanya. By the way, that'll be $500. What kind of good person would I be, really? No, we don't do that here. And so, it's morally for me personally, as a person who's been homeless before, as a person who has bipolar disorder and PTSD, it is morally reprehensible for me to charge a human being money to help them. If you choose to do those other things, and the coolest part, if I can get 500 subscribers at some point, if I can get 500 subscribers, when I'm on lives like this, you can literally give me money as we're talking. It's called a super chat. And Tanya ought to know what I'm talking about. It's called a super chat. I don't qualify for that yet. But my goal right now is 200 subscribers. The reason being is Amazon affiliate marketing will see 200 subscribers and they will allow me to use their link. And then I can sell products, I can use Amazon affiliate marketing so that if you guys shop through Amazon, you guys just go through there, get what you're going to get, whatever the hell you would normally get from Amazon, and I get 10% kickback. You see what I'm saying? And it's just a good way to go. Tanya has actually said she would. Me and her are going to have a private discussion. I'm not going to have on here about how to get people coming to my channel and subscribers. tips, things I can do, so forth and so on. So, but we'll discuss that. And we'll have a conversation about that. And Tanya is good. Tanya does this for a living. She does all this kind of thing. Okay. So that's going to be a big source of income. But I have to have 200 subscribers before that. Now I pay for every month. I pay for vidIQ. All right, vidIQ, for anybody who doesn't know, it's it helps me. It gives me suggestions, and it's a really great AI program for YouTube, or anything else you're gonna do, by the way, but for YouTube. And it's connected to my YouTube channel, so that it gives me suggestions for keywords. It can even give me, if I really wanted to. In other words, if basically I didn't have a brain on my own, I prefer my own artist control. Not to sound arrogant, but AI gives me good suggestions on different video ideas. That's great to use. But believe it or not, did you know that the vidIQ has it where they have an AI coach where all I have to do is describe what I want in a video. Okay? And they can write the entire scene for me. Well, I want to do it myself. But it is, in other words, I could really make this really easier for myself. And by the way, if someone else ever helps me, I'm sure they would probably use something like vidIQ. I am prideful of my baby. Okay, this is my child. This business is my child. It's my baby, and I don't like to have people babysit my baby. Does that make sense? All I need you to do is go get diapers. Does that make sense? So I have vidIQ. So I have things set up here, and that's one thing. I'm going to meet Tanya on the 31st. We're going to meet at a coffee shop. She's going to come over here. It's a Saturday. That's right, Tanya. Especially Tanya. That's it. Okay. What Tanya just said. Especially though, add to the fact that I am dealing with people that are humans. This isn't just some channel that's like Harris Heller or something, or like Mr. Beast. He can do stuff like that because he's doing fun and silly, entertaining stuff. I'm actually dealing with people with mental illness, homelessness. I'm trying to bring hope to people. This world's crazy, y'all. This world is crazy, y'all. There's nothing worse than walking around homeless. And well, I'm sorry, but vidIQ is not going to help me with that. They can give me hints and suggestions on things that might make it better, but I have to have this from my experiences. So that's kind of the thought process on that. But Tanya's going to help me. So very slowly but surely, I am getting help. Denise helps me. Y'all know that Denise helps me. But Denise isn't here. Denise is in Brazil. She's learning AI herself. So by the time she moves here in a few years, okay, like she'll be here next year. But by the time Denise moves here, she'll be able to clearly help me. But right now she's in Brazil. She can't help me physically. I am by myself. So when I have days like yesterday, it sucks because it's like Dave Ramsey says. I'm at the point of the business. Okay, I'm at the Pathfinder. Okay, that's what it's called. Business goes through different steps to become mature business. Dave Ramsey talks about that. Right now, I've already taken his test. I took Dave Ramsey's test, and I'm at the Pathfinder stage, which basically means when I don't get on here, when I'm not working, when I'm not talking to people, the business stops. So I can't even be in pain. I cannot be sick. I cannot have any problems with bipolar problems. No PTSD problems. These are the things you guys don't understand. And I'm been trying to kind of tell you guys, but like when I say that I can't stop, I mean I can't stop because the business has no one to run it. Now, I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you guys know the situation on why I say some certain things. Sometimes I get this thing, well, Daryl, you got to stop at some point. Yup, when I'm dead. Because at this point, I don't have that kind of help. And honestly, I want to learn this stuff. And I'm there. I mean, Tanya, she knows how to do the graphics and and the video creation and stuff like that. I'm probably never going to be as good as Tanya at this. That's fine. I still want to at least know the basics. And then, yes, I'm probably going to hire somebody like Tanya, to someone who's an expert at this. Because my big talent is this face you're seeing on here. The mouth, the words, my experiences. Tanya don't have those. Lori doesn't have those. Denise doesn't have those. And even if you did have it the same exact experience as me, you're not me. It's my story. Everybody writes their own story. But so what I know that seemed like a little ranty. I wasn't trying to rant. I try to do the best I can to explain to you guys what goes on here. I told you I want transparency. I want you guys to see. Okay? Let me make sure this is clear. And so yeah, I want to be honest. I don't want you to think, one, that I'm full of crap. I don't like, I need to sit differently. I don't like that crap. See, this is what I'm saying. I got aesthetically not very pleasing. All right, so, but I told you guys I would never lie to you. I also don't want you to think that there's some nefarious things going on, especially for the new people that come on here. Have you met me? Do you know if I'm telling the truth? No, you don't. I could be lying through my teeth right now. I could have a freaking Mercedes-Benz parked out in the parking lot. You don't know that. You don't know my situation. How do you see my situation? By me showing it to you. And so, you see. By the way, y'all see that turtle behind me? That one? See that? That turtle, that's very, very meaningful to me. Sophia brought that in the day I was in the hospital and I was bleeding. That's right, Tanya. See, Tanya's got it right. That girl right there. Yes, ma'am. So, but anyway, that turtle is that's Sophia brought that in. I was dying in the hospital, and so that's my little sicky turtle. So, but on Sundays, like I said, I want to start out you guys this week, you guys an inspirational message, and I want to try to do the same thing for the end of the weeks, but in a different way, because at the end of the week you should be looking back at what you've done this last week, so that your week can be better. The idea, the thought process about looking into your past, and one of the things about the ingredients and the steps, is when you clean your house, the first step, okay? And isn't it though? My nickname, Sophia's nickname for me is Papa Turtle and Sophia's Mama Turtle. So, just so you know that. Can't believe I just put that on live. Oh my God, I'm ashamed of myself right now. So, but anyway, and Dwan is Dwani Turtle. That's what Sophia named it. So sad, really, truly. Actually, y'all want to know something funny? Dwan is such a innocent man. Okay, he's been like with two women his whole life. Like, I mean, he was married once, and then he was with Margaret for 15 years. Sophia enjoys messing with him. Okay, so she will. Oh yeah, Tanya. And so she will look at him and go, "How's my little chocolate pudding?" She calls Dwan her chocolate pudding. And he just gets so, he's like, oh my God, no. But anyway, so I think it's important, just like I do at the end of the year, every year, I try to look back and you go, what you do is you're not focusing on the negative. You take the negative that maybe has happened this week, and you think about whatever it may be. Maybe you got in a fight with somebody. Maybe your boss yelled at you. Maybe Maybe you came home and you were just bone tired and just get frustrated. Like I had a moment earlier before, about an hour and a half ago, where I just sat and Sophia let me vent. And I just vented. Just got stuff on my chest because I get frustrated, y'all. And that's kind of what I really wanted to share with you guys today, about the frustration of like just not just the pain from yesterday. It's just I get told all sorts of things from all sorts of people, even my friends. And everybody keeps telling me, Daryl, you're putting unneeded pressure on yourself. No. Unneeded pressure is putting too much pressure. In other words, not seeing things the right way. So, for example, I cannot do anything about a neighbor or even, anything outside of myself. I cannot do anything to change a person's position on something. I cannot do anything to act. So when people say, well, can you help me? No, actually, I can't. You say, what? What do you mean you can't help people? I can tell you how to help yourself. That is what we do here. I can do nothing. And if you're a Christian, you should understand this concept. Jesus didn't come down and die on the cross to help save every single human being. It says he came down to make it so that they may be saved. Do you understand the wording there? That unless you decide to be, God's not going to force you. See, people read over that. They think they know. God came to save everybody. No, he didn't. He gave you the way to be saved. In other words, it's up to you to grab the rope. Greatest example I ever heard of this concept, and this is what I follow. So a man and a man, right, a father and a son are on the side of a raging river. Maybe it had just stormed or something. Father and son are on the side of a river, and this river is flooding, okay? And as they're on the side of the river, and they see this man going down the river, and he's drowning. He's in the river. The river's screaming. The son is screaming. The man in the river is screaming for help. He's about to die. He's going to drown. So the father looks at his son and says, okay, he hands him the rope. He throws the rope out to the man. The man is saved. Let's go through this real quick, because I need you guys to understand this, because this is what I do. The man, out of the grace of his heart, because he wasn't forced to. Nobody is forced to save somebody. You're not forced to help somebody. Okay? Just understand the concept there. So the man asked his son, sacrificed his son, in fact, because his son could have been pulled in, gave him the rope to do such a task, and then the man grabbed it. Think about the man grabbing it. If the man had chosen not to grab it, he would not have been saved, no matter how far he threw that rope. So I can give you my ingredients, and I can give you my steps, and I can tell you exactly how to do it. You know, in the end, none of it means anything without you trying to do it, without obedience. Obedience to me? No. In this case, it's obedience to yourself. You have to look inside yourself. See, the difference between what I do and what God does is God, and he can tell you what to do. He's God, and there is consequences to this. Me? There's no consequences. It's your own consequences. If you choose to be happy with your life and it's miserable, you can't say that I didn't do anything for you. I gave you the opportunity. The ingredients are as follows. You have to have want to do this. If you're on the streets, you have to want to get out the streets. You have bipolar disorder like me, you have to want to understand your disorder first. You have to know you, and not just Not just the medical, go into the medical thing and understand bipolar disorder or schizophrenia or ADHD. All the different things that people go through. Depression. You cannot go into a medical dictionary and think, I read about bipolar disorder, I know everything there is to know about it. What does that have to do with your version of it? Because everyone experiences bipolar disorder differently. Everyone experiences schizophrenia differently. You guys ever watch A Beautiful Mind? He had schizophrenia. And he was also a genius and changed the world. Just because you're messed up don't mean you can't change things. Our modern day economics comes from that schizophrenic man. That movie is awesome. It's a great tale into his life. It's just an amazing story. What he went through hell. You know? So reading it in a medical dictionary is not going to work. You got to know your own stuff. And then you have to learn how to want. You have to want to work with it. Okay? PTSD and anything else you're dealing with, you have to understand it. It sucks for me that I wasn't diagnosed with PTSD till 2005 because there's a lot of mistakes I would not have made had I known that. But I was diagnosed with bipolar, so at least I understood that part of it, sort of. I didn't know how to work with it, didn't know how to deal with my life, that kind of thing. So want to. You have to want to do these things. Heck, you have to want to go to the store to go get a pack of cigarettes like I smoke. Not a word for you non-smokers. I want to hear it. Let's try to smoke cigarettes. At least I don't smoke other things. Wow. Makes me sad. No, I feel judged right now for some reason. Or is that my own guilty conscience? Anyway. You have to learn how to get it off your chest. Venting. Second ingredient. See, if you have been through a lot of stuff like I have been through, okay, there's going to be a lot of stuff that you need to get off your chest before you're ever going to listen to a piece of advice. A lot of anger, a lot of nastiness. And you're going to need somebody to talk to, not just talk to. You're gonna need somebody. Thank you, Tanya. I just felt eyeballs from somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, you're gonna need someone to literally scream at. So when you come home from work and you know you can't say something to your boss, here I am. If not me, you better go get a counselor. Scream at that counselor. Because let me tell you something. You keep it inside, it's dangerous. I'm like I said, I have been really busy with doing these lives and things like that. So I've been a lot slower at the end here doing these videos. But once my ingredients and my steps videos comes out, that's what I'm doing right now. Those of you guys who don't understand, or at the very least don't know exactly what I'm doing here, watch those videos. And then one of the things I say about the venting is, it cannot be just anybody. You cannot vent to just anybody, because you don't want somebody calling the cops or calling the hospital every time you feel like you're suicidal. Just because, here's the one thing I don't like. One of the reasons why I never talk about counselors isn't because if that's the only person you can talk to as a counselor, fine. But just understand that by law, if you talk about suicide or hurting somebody else, they have to report it. So even if it's just how you feel at the moment. See, I will say things out of my mouth because I feel it at the moment, because I need to get it the hell out of my head. Does that mean I'm going to go do it? No. I don't agree with that concept. I will never agree with that concept, and there isn't a single person, even nobody with any degree, that's going to explain to me but the law is a law, and they have to follow the law to keep their license. Well, I don't have one. My license came from God. I was born with it in 1997 on January 7th. Okay? I was born with it, and I was basically born with PTSD because I was born addicted to drugs. So I'm kind of an expert on like this kind of thing. So I don't really need an education on it. And I changed my life. And I had to. It's close to death. But check this out. I am thinking about getting a life coach license, though. That would be helpful for the business part of it. But I've noticed that I'm never going to get a college education as far as that's concerned. Not with what they're teaching now. There's no way in hell. I might have even considered it 10 years ago. I will never get one. Not anymore. I will never become a communist, ever. And that's all they teach unless you go to a Christian school. You're not going to teach me that. You're not going to teach me how to hate my country. You're not going to teach me none of that stuff. It has nothing to do with my psych issue. It has nothing to do with helping me out. I'm doing this business on my own, and I'm educating myself. I don't need your help like that. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, this world has been taught that if you don't have a college education, somehow you're dumb. Tell you what, why don't you go ahead and outsmart me then? No one's done it yet. I've debated doctors before. You can ask Dewan. I fear no one as far as that's concerned. But especially this stuff. You're talking about human beings. So I don't agree with the venting thing. I don't agree with them reporting people. Okay? Because you want to know a secret about suicide? About hurting someone? Especially about suicide. People that usually commit suicide are never going to tell you a word. The closest I ever came to suicide was in the hospital in 1997. I tried to hang myself. And the only reason why I didn't get away with it was because I passed out. I planned every little inch of that suicide attempt. I wanted to die. That's how it's done. I mentioned it to no one. Most people who actually want to commit suicide will find a way to do it. There's not a damn thing you're going to do about it. I was in a mental institution, and I still almost did it. So, suicide is one of those things like where I feel a certain way, and a lot of time we use words that don't. It's not even has nothing to do with it. Like, do I feel like I want to die anymore? No. But when I'm in pain, like yesterday, oh, there were moments that I was praying to God for God to send a stroke of lightning to hit me, because it's awful. There's some things worse than death. So you got to be able to get it off your chest, and you got to find the right person to do it. Well, guys, what? You're lucky, because I can take anything from you. And I'm not going to call the hospital. I'm not going to call it. Unless you are actually in the middle of an attempted suicide, or you're going to go kill somebody, then I'm going to have to go ahead and knock you out, and we're going to take you to the hospital. Okay? Because you have to get it off your chest before you can listen. And which goes into the third ingredient, Once you get that nastiness off, you will be able to accept advice. And slowly but surely over time, you'll be able to learn how to do what I call controlled venting, where you can work and say, okay, I need to vent for a second. Where you can hold it, go get off your chest, get right back to whatever you were doing. I can do that now. Like, I can get frustrated about something and say, Lori, I need to smoke. Go right outside. Lori's right across the hallway, by the way, y'all. All I have to do is go knock on her door. Okay? And say, Lori, I need to talk for a second. Vent, have a couple of smokes with her, yell, scream, whatever, come back inside and get back to work. I do it all the time. Ask the Lord. It works quite well. So, but in other words, so you're emptying your head out so that you're able to listen. Right? Makes sense, right? Now, you take that advice, and it might be, what if it's an important decision? What if it is an important decision, like the decision that me and Dwan are about to go do? Well, you need a bunch of heads, don't you? What if it's a decision like, I want to get married to this man, or I want to get married to this woman? Well, you don't want just one person's advice, do you? It might be multiple people. Okay? Here's the thing about taking advice, though. And one thing I want to make sure it's very clear. I've been saying this lately to make sure it's very clear to people. Just because, like, let's say you give me some advice and I agree with what you're saying, but some of what you're saying doesn't necessarily apply to me. Just because I kind of cut the fat off of what you're saying and I apply only with what applies to me, doesn't mean I didn't take your advice, man. Don't get offended. A lot of people get offended by that. Like, well, you didn't take my advice. Actually, I did. It's just that some parts of it weren't applicable to me, right? It's just very simple, but I don't know why people get offended by that, but they do. All right? But you need to take that advice, go by yourself, put some music on your head if you need to, and contemplate that advice. Decide and then make the decision. If you need to go back and get some more advice, okay, then go get some more advice. But it is your decision. I cannot make that decision for you. I like lawyers' faces. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that's part of it, okay? So you go out and you have to make the decision, but you have to have a clear head, all right? And the last one, ingredient, is the most important one of them all. Knowing you're not alone is so vital. It is. It is powerful. I tell you now, it's powerful. It can cause you to move. It can cause you to be so strong to know that my mother has been dead since 2002. Okay? She's not just far away. She's never going to come back to me. It is wonderful to know that with every decision that I make, with every word that comes out of my mouth, that I know that my mother is right behind me in spirit. And I have so much confidence because of it, that even when I'm at my weakest moment, when I'm in pain like I was yesterday, and remembering how much pain my mother was in when she died, and knowing that I'm not going to die, that I'll get through it, was more than anything that there is nothing to replace that. That is strength that goes beyond science. It goes beyond all of it. Because I can tell you now, being homeless sometimes, I felt so alone. And I was. I chose to be that way because I thought I was alone, therefore I was alone. And you take these ingredients together, and you start doing the steps. The steps are as follows. And you carry it with you at all times because they're vital. Do not leave out a single ingredient. It's going to help you do this. And step one is cleaning your house. Oh, cleaning your house sucks. Having to go back and remember some of the worst decisions I've ever made, some of the worst things that's ever happened to me, and actually look at them, examine them outside of the situation, because clearly I wasn't in the situation, looking at those situations and to being able to figure out, if I was in that situation, what would I do different? Why did I make it? Examining what made me make that decision. Why did I all the time, I'm just talking about myself, why did I all the time make decisions that never considered another person? Was it out of selfishness? No. I'm not naturally selfish. But my actions were jumping on a train with my girlfriend. She could have been killed. I don't know about you, but if I was a mother, I wouldn't let my daughter date me ever back then. But I didn't see it that way. And I didn't listen. I didn't carry in the ingredients. I sure as hell didn't do any of these steps. But when I began this journey, 18 years ago, I was a shattered, useless mess. 18 years ago. 18. I met Sophia. She picked me up like a puppy dog. And I didn't at first. I started examining things. I lost everything. My mother. My mother in 2002. In fact, I had just lost my sister Jacqueline when I was shattered. My sister Jacqueline's my adopted sister. Jacqueline flying through the window of that car, 8 months pregnant. And then not knowing anything about her death and having strangers tell me more about my sister's death than I even knew about. Ask Sophia and Amanda. Sophia's daughter's name is Amanda. Before they knew about my sister's death, because they reckoned it because it's on the news. 2005, Pine City. Another person died, in fact, in that car accident. And having that guilt of, I'm a bad brother. I'm a bad friend. I'm a bad husband. I'm a bad boyfriend. I'm a bad Christian. In the end, I'm a bad human. And I wanted to die. That's all I wanted to die when I first met Sophia. I used to say all the time, I will not see the C-30. I used to tell her that all the time. I'm 45. Guess I didn't die, huh? How did that happen? I had to stop drinking. I was drinking heavily. I had to learn how to live life without it, and that was scary for me. I didn't know how to. I wanted to be in a fantasy world because my life sucks so bad. Now alcohol can do all sorts of things. So I thought. You know what I found out about alcohol though? The most amazing and deceitful part about alcohol? Alcohol doesn't make you do anything. Alcohol only drops your inhibitions so that you can do something without having those emotions. Takes away the fear. So if you knew how to write music, you knew how to write music before you drank. You knew how to paint that painting before you drank. All of the beautiful things that were in my mind back then could only happen when I drank. You guys want to know what was in my mind back then when I first met Sophia? I love music, okay? I always, I'm talking about a long time ago now. When I first met Sophia, I used to dream only when I'm drunk. I used to think about how to produce a music video. What I'm doing right now. It's all I could think about. I knew I had the talent. And only when I drank did I even have the encouragement to even think about such a thought. I had no idea how to begin it. I didn't know anything about Adobe Creative Cloud. I didn't know anything about cameras. I didn't know anything about this. I knew that inside me I wanted to create something beautiful. But only when I got drunk. There was a time that I couldn't even play video games unless I was drunk. Anything that reminded me of how sucky my life was, I didn't want to do it. So I didn't work on anything. Nothing. One day, I had to come here first. And Sophia stayed up in Minnesota and she was moving her stuff. We had a conversation and she basically gave me an ultimatum. She tells me, Daryl, I'm not coming there unless you try to do something better. Sophia saw something inside me. I didn't. And so there's nothing that she could say to me at all that would convince me. This is how the steps work, y'all. This is how it has to work. And when you start trying to change your life, this is what's going to happen to you in a way. Clearly not my way. I mean, because you're not me. Now, I'm telling you guys this stuff because it's necessary. And excuse me, I'm about to break one of the golden rules of video thing. I'm about to eat a chip. Excuse me. What? It's benign. It ain't gonna mess up my stomach. It's Ruffles, okay? Yes, I know. It's bad video. Whatever. So anyway, she told me, I'm not going to come there if you don't stop drinking. You got to stop drinking first. You got to start learning how to live your life without. That was her message to me. You want to know the truth? First thing I thought in my head was, well, bye. I didn't think I could do that. No way. But slowly but surely, I started trying to do things without having to experience joy and happiness without that. Because I was miserable, y'all. I was miserable to be around. I was miserable because I didn't know who I was. Simple as that. All of the talents that you guys compliment me on, you know what I thought were curses? Can y'all believe that? That I actually thought at one time, all of the beautiful talents that God gave me, my brains, my ability to talk, my ability to explain things, like all the things that Dwan loves about me talking about how I can storytell and teach lessons and stuff, I've always had that. That's how I met Dwan in 2000. I lost myself. After my mom's death, I lost myself badly. Sorry. Well, at least I have music on, dude. But, so I started having to clean my house. And it was awful. It was awful. It was hell. And at the same time as I'm cleaning my house, Sophia is encouraging me. It was little small stuff that you guys wouldn't even noticed at the time. But I knew that there were things changing about me. In other words, and because she goes to work to her job, and I'm here, and I would play my video games and stuff, sober. That was hard at first. I know it sounds crazy, right? It's how can it be hard to play a video game when you're sober? Because you don't understand how I use the video games. Video games is just an extra layer of escape, so that I didn't have to be in this world. That's where I was at one time, 18 years ago. And so I would use that time while she was gone to really contemplate on things. Oh, trust me, I would have my moments where I would get angry and oh man, the stuff that has come out of my mouth about myself. And if y'all think y'all could ever be mean to me, you can never be mean to me like I'm mean to me. Or the names that could come out of my mouth about myself. Oofta. So this process happened over time. And over time, it started to change. And like I said, it was small stuff at first. It's not going to be big stuff. It's going to be small, tiny, minuscule even. But you're going to notice. You're going to notice that you make it. There's going to be a point throughout this process. There's going to be several points, but where you have these moments where something that you know for a fact you would not have done before, you will notice yourself doing it. And you'll feel so proud, but then reality sets in and no one else notices it at first. So for example, when you first, so like maybe you say, well, I'm not going to drink. I'm only going to have one drink this week. Maybe you were drinking every day. No one is going to notice that. The truth is, no one's going to notice it. That's why you cannot be alone. That person that's trying to help you, that's trying to help your mind frame, needs to be there when you're doing this, because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be real mean to you, that you're going to think is being real mean. It's going to make you want to drink or whatever it is. Go backwards, in other words. Okay, so it's nice. Okay, it's nice to have, you have to have someone with you. You can't do this beginning process, especially if you're messed up like I was. But like I said, you need to think about all these things. There's going to be a point though, and over this time, you need to stop every once in a while, because you need to pull back. You got to stop, and this is the fifth ingredient. Well, excuse me. You got to stop in a set situation. But really, there's going to be a point where you're going to have to look back at your whole journey, so that you can see how far you've come. It gives you encouragement. But check this out. So you clean your house and you fill your house, okay, with good stuff. So basically you're getting rid of the crap and you're building your stuff up. Along with this process and happening at the same time, figure out things that you're good at, that you know that you're good at. So I'm artistic in nature. I can draw really well, even though I haven't done it in a while. I can write music. I wrote a symphony. I haven't, if y'all don't believe me. Seriously. I'm having problems. For any of you guys that don't know, Lori knows. And Denise knows whenever if she ever gets on here. I had a stroke in November. Okay. So I'm having issues with my hands. But I play keyboard. I don't know if you guys see it behind me. I'm really good at music, okay? That's why I love music. It's part of my heart, my soul. So I'm good at artistic things. That's why, even though I have never done videos before, I knew, that's the thing. Once you get good at something inside your box, the next step 4, is going outside of your box and finding things that you've never done before. And you say, well, how would you know that? You'll know. I've never done videos before. Only in the last 4 years. Okay? Hey, what's up, Denise? I've never done videos before, okay? How did I know beforehand that I could do them? Well, I didn't know I could do them. I didn't know I could do this business. But there are hints, because of the things you've been doing within your own box, that you think, well, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can apply this thing to over here and I can get this accomplished. So even though you may not have ever done it before, okay, it will give you confidence in doing something new. Okay? So in this case, I'm artistic, but also I'm very smart. I'm very exact mathematically. I'm not a mathematician like my uncle. My uncle is, even though I can't stand him, I won't go into that right now, but even though I cannot stand my uncle is a genius when it comes to math. That's why he knew, and one of the things that he should be proud of, and I am actually very proud of him, is why I looked up to him at one time, is when he was 16, he loved hooking up speakers and building speaker boxes, and loved the idea, the thought process of sound. Well, what that did was make him want to go learn sound. So he started attending DeVry University, and you know what's happened? He got a 4.0 average in it. So he understands sound like no other. He knows math. And so he was good at music as well, because music is about math. Now, I'm artistic. He's just good at math. Okay? So, even though it looks like we have the same talent, it's not the same talent. He's good with math. Really, 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 really good with math. Okay? So you have to know these things about yourself. So you find these things out over time. And maybe things that you didn't even think about. It's a time and patience thing, you know what I'm saying? So, in regards to doing something new, I'll give you this about this business. I know that I've always been able to figure out workarounds. So, for example, I don't have a degree. I know a lot of stuff. I know how to teach. I've known that since 2000. I didn't know that side of me when I was in school, but when I met Dwan, I realized, wow, I can teach the Bible really well. That's how I met Dwan. So I know I can teach. I know that I knew this in 2000. These are all the things that I had to add up over time. So like all of these things are applied here. I know how to teach. I know how to, I've worked on being able to speak. Now my issue with speaking had always been, up until recently, up in the last couple of years, had always been the nervousness of getting up in front of people. Because of my low self-esteem, and I'm naturally shy. I was naturally shy, so the idea of getting in front of a bunch of people and talking to them, well, that wasn't happening. Well, then you guys are going, well, wait, you're on here. That's the point. Sometimes you're forced to see a talent and you didn't want to. Let me explain these videos. What I mean by this. The thought process in 2020, when we started this business, was Dwan was supposed to be on here, not Daryl. I was going to be running it and coming up with the ideas and those sorts of things. And I was going to help him study and give him a little more knowledgeable on this stuff. But I wasn't supposed to be on videos. I didn't think I could ever get on here like that. And because he has a voice from God. Well, he doesn't tell stories like Daryl. He can't just on the whim talk about stuff. And so I have so that wasn't going to happen, right? Or so I thought. Well, here's the thing. In 2020, me and Dwan had known each other for literally 20 years. And the unfortunate thing is, because we had been on the streets, and most of the time it was like, but we never talked about each other's stuff. Before that time, we never talked about each other's stuff. So he didn't know how bad it really was for me as far as my mental illness, and I didn't know how bad it really was for him, and he didn't know how bad it was for himself either, because he's been diagnosed with a chronic depression, major depression. So now he's finding out about his new disorder, but he has cerebral palsy. But I didn't know anything about his past. It was Sophia who noticed that he had a low self-esteem, and it was bad. It was real bad. Well, in spring, okay. Said OBS Studio disconnected. What the hell is going on here? Oh, that's weird. I thought my live stream just went off. Anyway, so I realized I have a problem. Dwan can't get on camera like this. I have a big effing problem. A great idea, but now nobody can get on camera. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I said the OBS disconnected. I don't know what that was about. I'm probably going to pause for a second, go have a smoke, and let you guys listen to some music for a second. But I want to stop at this point because I want you guys, especially the ones that don't understand where my passion comes from sometimes, and how much this stuff works. What I'm teaching works. Okay. So check this out. So I had a problem, y'all. I had a big effing problem. The problem was Daryl wasn't going to get on camera. I told Dwan two things. This is your idea of want to. How bad do you want something? How bad do you want something? How bad do you want your marriage to work? How bad do you want your friendship to work? How bad do you want your kids to be okay? How bad did I want New Warpology Gaming to be successful? Two things. I told Dwan one day, and you can ask him, I said this. I said, because we were talking about the graphics design of the videos and practicing doing that stuff. And I looked at Dwan and said, I do not want to be one of those graphic design people. I do not want to be one of those people. Sorry, Tanya. And he says, and he kind of gives me that look with a sly smile. And I just kind of look at him with disgust, and I'm like, I'm probably going to be one of those graphic design people, aren't I? He goes, yup. And I go, why though? He goes, because you want this to work. It's as simple as that. It had to happen. It didn't matter what I wanted. Somebody had to do it. Dwan didn't know how to. Okay? The second one was, I told myself I would never get on camera like this. What I do? Dwan can't get on camera. That inside, if you guys look at the very end of, actually, in fact, I think in the intro too. If you go back in my videos, and you look at the intros and the outros, and there's I have them, I think, in both of them, where Dwan is walking with his cane, and where we're talking. In fact, as soon as the video's done, it's me and Dwan talking. It's that walk. I just made the decision that Dwan, I was going to pull back Dwan, that he wasn't going to be doing videos on anything, that I needed him to work on himself. And that's why you see me talking to him and he's getting stuff off. In fact, that conversation that you see at the very beginning, he was talking about his father. Now, you can't hear it because there's no sound, but he was venting to me. He was talking to me. I was doing my job. I was counseling him. Okay. Did you know that man has half a body, and with cerebral palsy, he walked 8 miles that day? And it was probably 95 degrees. That was so inspirational to me that the very next morning, or that night, that we get back that night, all cool down and everything. We're talking and stuff, and that's when I made the decision, Daryl, you just got to do it. You just got to do it, dude, or it's over. Or you're a liar. You lied to your friends. You lied to Sophia. You lied to Dwan, and you don't talk about helping people anymore. Then. So I made a decision, and I can trust me. The first video the oldest video that's on my N.A.G.214, that's the very first video I ever did. As to how long it took me to get on camera, I was so nervous. I was sick to my stomach. But you guys can see over time that I've gotten better and better and better, and my message more concise. Hell, do you know back then I wasn't even cutting and editing. Tanya, I was so rusty, I was so wet behind the ears on this stuff. I wasn't even cutting and editing my own videos, man. I just slapped them up with a freaking beginning and ending. I think I've improved a little bit, don't you think? Want to, guys. Learning new stuff. Going outside your box, and oh my God, every single thing that I do now is outside my box. In other words, every new thing you guys see, every graphic designer that you see, it's new to me. All of it. Now, it is nice to be very, very extremely giant smart like I am, but what does being smart mean without using it? You guys talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I'm going to go have a cigarette. This video is way longer than I thought meant to be. I apologize. I told you guys I had a lot to say towards the end of the week. Sorry. We're going to take it. Give me 5 minutes and I'll be back. All right. You guys go get your drink, whatever. I'm not going to make it that much longer, but I just wanted, I know Tanya and there's other people I know other people are watching right now that don't know me like Lori does. So for Lori, Lori, you don't have to be on if you don't want to be. I know you've heard some of this stuff before, but I would like you to be. Same thing with Denise. But so this is for anybody who comes on and wants to know, what's the point there? Why are you doing this? Well, because I'm literally showing you how to do this. So I'll be back. Listen to music. Love you guys. All right, guys, hold on. Let me get my face. Let me get my face up here. So, everybody's blue. I'm blue. I will. No, okay. Lori joined me. Actually, went outside and joined me for a cigarette. So she was smoking with me out there. Man, okay. Look, I'm not one to complain about my neighbors, but I think you guys can understand why this would be a problem for me. They're all having fun out back. The pool is right out here, and that's fine and all. But I can't sit. You know, Denise, you know where me and Lori sit? We couldn't stand out there. We had to go on the other side because I can smell beer and stuff. And no, look, to each his own. I'm not into that life anymore. Okay, sorry. Food smells good though. But let me continue. So I had to get on that video, and I want to thank Lori, by the way, for the special club. I want to thank Lori for joining me. You know, Lori's an awesome person. Really, she is. She's 61 years old. She acts like she's 5. Sorry, Lori. So I love her. She don't act her age. Well, me and her shoot the shit all the time out back. It's cool. She's cool as hell. But Tanya, you actually may meet Lori at some point. I don't know about the next time, but I don't know about on that Saturday because I want to show you some stuff in here. But continuing on with what I was saying about the steps and how showing you how I use them. So here's the thing: in 2020, when me and Dwan decided to do this, because it took a little bit, about a year or so, before Sophia really was on board, because she's experienced my ideas before, and it never I never completing a task for me back in the day was a hard thing. You got to believe in yourself to do that. Okay, you got to have a lot more drive, a lot more stuff like that. Okay, but in 2020, when we were planning this out, I had already made I'd already changed my life, basically. Okay, the man that Dwan knew, because I hadn't seen Dwan since 2013. We of course were friends on Facebook, but he lived in Minnesota. But the man that Dwan met in 2020 was not the friend he used to know. I was different. I was clearly not the same guy. And he was so proud of me. But when we decided to do this in 2020, it was the summer of that year. We had to get down in a notebook and we had to write down. I had to write down, how did I do it? There was one nagging question that I always had that I had to figure out. The question was, why Sophia? Why not my mother or my father? And as much as I don't like Desiree anymore, Desiree gave me advice. She's not stupid. She saw my talents. Why Sophia? You know, why? Why? How was she able to get through to me? Well, I had to figure that out. And so we talked about it. And I finally put my hand on it. It's because of the first ingredient. I had want to. For the first time in my life, she gave me the want to, the push. Sometimes you got to be pushed. It's not. If there's nothing inside of you, you're not going to have motivation. That's what want to is. So, that was the first ingredient. That was thanks to Sophia. I had to figure it out. Why? I knew the other stuff. Venting. I knew about venting. So I got together the ingredients. I can show you my original notes. No, you're not, Lori. You're cool as hell. Yep, me too, Tanya. But y'all follow me on that? So I got into the notebook. I can show you my original notes if you want to. I might take a picture of them and put them on Facebook. My original notes of the ingredients and the steps. I had to figure it out. So I figured out the ingredients. And then the process. I had to figure out what was the process that I used to do this amazing thing. Because you got to understand something. And for you guys that don't know this, listen to this very carefully. You need to know how hard this was. Like, I wasn't at the lowest point in my life. I was in hell. I had to first learn how to climb up out of hell to be on even ground. Then I had to learn how to do what I'm doing now. I had to learn how to rise up and be better than myself. Process. That's why it took 18 years. Well, how did that amazing thing happen? Well, I had to figure that out. Clean your house. Fill your house. Do something inside your box. Do something outside your box. And then go back and look, assess the situation, and then ask what's next. That's the process. You can do anything you want to do. I'll say it one more again. There is nothing you cannot do if you follow this. Nothing. And you can do it with confidence. You can do it with boldness and bravery. You can be better than you've ever been. You can be something that you never thought you could be. See, I went from not being able to answer questions about, Daryl, who are you? I don't know. I couldn't answer that question. The shame of being on SSI and always having to tell people I'm on SSI. Now, I can look you in the eyes and I can tell you, hi, my name is Daryl Phillips. I'm the owner of Warpole Idea Gaming. That's who I am. Because I earned it. Because I dug deeper than you can imagine. And I dug up, shattered. I was shattered, man. I always give this as an example of the idea of being shattered. If you've ever seen a piece of crystal, you drop a piece of crystal on the ground, you got big pieces and tiny pieces and microscopic pieces. There's a difference between being shattered and being broken. I was shattered and I had to put those pieces back together. And you know what I ended up creating? An entirely different product altogether. I don't even recognize myself in the mirror anymore. And that's a good thing. Because all I saw was a monster before. And so if I'm passionate about what I do, you'll forgive me if I'm not sorry. If I love the fact that I can help somebody, you'll understand if I'm not sorry. If I'm a little too aggressive in my want for you guys to succeed, you'll have to forgive me because I'm not sorry. If I worry too much about you guys, you'll have to forgive me because I'm not sorry. And if you think I do it for myself, I don't get a fucking dime with this. I still make $735 a month. With the exception of the brilliant idea of me starting this Roth IRA, which right now I have in my Roth IRA, I have $2,568.05. Pretty good for a guy who only makes $735 a month, huh? My question to people is, how much do you have saved? That was never me before. I couldn't keep a dime in my pocket. That's exactly what I say. Tanya, the example that I always tell people. Now, you say yay or nay if you agree with this concept. If you're trying to hit the sun, you don't aim for the sun, you aim for Jupiter. That way, you might hit the sun on the way to something much farther away. See, I'm not looking to have some small little YouTube business and have Tanya and Denise and all my little friends, Lori. Look at all this, all my little friends on here. My intention is way bigger than that. Y'all are only seeing the beginning. Let me give you some thought process on this. There's going to be at least 3 more YouTube channels, if not 4, besides the 2 I already have. Oh, yeah, that's right. There is another YouTube channel that Dwan runs, in which he does the gaming part of this. And the most brilliant part of that gaming part is I'm going to use video games like I used on myself to teach patience, critical thinking to kids or to people my age. Okay? Because colleges don't teach it anymore. So instead of having to listen to Daryl speak all day, once I get some help in here, I will be able to get on my Xbox or get on my Steam and play Assassin's Creed or Total War and show you guys concepts from the ingredients and the steps through my video games. It's not a regular gaming channel. Dwan is keeping it. Every week he puts videos up there. It helps Dwan practice his voice. It helps keep him on camera, and keep him something to do, keep him part of this business, because he's in South Dallas right now. I hate that he's there. It was my idea to do this. I wanted him to be in charge of that for now. But it's part of New World Public Gaming. KFE is. Every week he goes on there. That's part of it. There's going to be an education channel in which I'm going to teach history, and I'm going to teach the ingredients and the steps in history. Do you see where this is going? Everything is about the ingredients and the steps. And I will do every last option to teach you so if you don't like video gaming and you love history, go to the history channel when I put it up. There's going to be a Christian version of N.A.G.214 for Christians, where I'm going to show you in the Bible where they teach the ingredients and the steps. Oh, that's right. That's the dirty secret. See, the ingredients and the steps, and the steps, what I realize, aren't from Daryl. I'm doing something very unique with my knowledge of the Bible. Let's just say it that way. And a lot of Christians have questions. And I don't want it to sound like that I just brilliantly came up with the ingredients and the steps. No. I did, but but if you go through history, I don't care if it's modern history or ancient history, every successful human being in history has carried their ingredients naturally. The sort of people I'm talking to don't. People with low self-esteem do not carry their ingredients naturally. They sure as hell don't have one, two, and so forth and so on. These are all I'm just giving you guys some insight on what's happening here. That this isn't just about one channel or even YouTube at all. Eventually, we're going to have a building in which I will be hiring counselors. There will be a physical place where someone can go and get necessarily professional counselors. And if they are professional, they better have a degree in I have bipolar disorder counseling. Like, I don't want people that don't know what they're talking about, that had learned their knowledge through a book. I'm sorry, especially on something this touchy. I just don't agree with that. So these are just some of the thought process on this. All of this stuff came from my mind. Me changing my life did that to me. Brought this all out of me. What can it do for you? I don't know. That's for you to decide, isn't it? But this is what it's done for me. And I'm sure I can tell you more ways I've used it all the time. When I get on here and you guys see me a little more passionate and one day, or maybe a little bit angry or something, that's venting. I vent on here all the time in front of you guys. I show you guys the ingredients every single time I get on live. That's why I don't like it when someone goes, well, Daryl, you don't listen. I couldn't have changed if I didn't. Of course I listen. I'm not going to listen to bad advice, though. Of course I listened. Trust me. Sophia used to punch me in the face all the time. Not physically. But she used to tell me all the time. Critique me all the time. I couldn't take critiquing for at one time. What we teach here, me and Dwan's passion is homelessness. Dwan's passion is homelessness. He wants to educate you guys on. In fact, once it gets a lot cooler outside, Dwan is going to be putting his first video up. Probably this fall, maybe it might not be to the beginning of the year, to be honest with you, but soon he's going to be putting up his own video on N.A.G.214. So you'll see Dwan, and he'll have videos. Dwan is also a beautiful poet. He loves to inspire you guys through his poetry. There's so many things. One of the reasons why I love creating those music videos is because it's inspiring. I put up Harris Heller's music, which he's so kick-ass at what he does. I wish I could meet Harris Heller someday, maybe. He's another YouTuber, but he makes lots and lots of money giving his music away for free. That's what you guys are listening to, so that people can use his stuff on live videos. That's his service to people. My service is to help you guys get through things and to teach you guys how to be you, and then be 1,000% better. That's my service. That's why I don't want to charge for it. But yeah, there is money. I mean, I have my plans to make money doing this, but it's just not going to be the way you guys ever saw. And this all came out of my head. And just studying all the knowledge that I know. I have a special talent, so I can take knowledge, I can hold it in my head, and then it doesn't matter if it's 10 years from now, I can remember a conversation you and I had in which I can remember something you said to remind you. I'm good at that. My memory is amazing. Ask Denise. Denise cannot believe sometimes how much I know for a person that just that's never been to college, but it's just part of my genius. I'm great. What they figured out is I'm really good at code. I recognize patterns, which is why it's hard to get away with things. I notice things about people that other people might not notice. So I can catch things. I can know if you're lying, for example. You're never gonna get away with a lie with me. You can tell a lie, but I will notice everything. I notice everything. I notice patterns. That's how I'm able to do music. That's how I'm able to listen to beats and do videos. And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. I'm trying to use all of my talents to try to show you guys how to be better people. And it's so vital to me because this world needs it right now. I might end on that. Thank you, Denise. I want you guys to know something. I'm going to finish on this. I'll make sure my camera's nice. I don't care for you guys because I need something from you. I don't care about you guys because I want you to owe me a favor later. I'm not running for political office. I do it because somebody has to. I do it because without knowledge of things, you are nothing. And it's why I keep talking about standards. If you do not stand for something, you will fall for everything. And I'll keep saying that until I get it through y'all's head. Everything I talk about is important, and there are things going on right now. People are losing their faith in other people. People do not know how to trust anyone anymore because there's so many people who like to lie. I was just listening to Fox News on the radio. Nobody knows how to trust because people lie to just get what they want now. So even though I can't walk down the street to Valero to go get my own pack of cigarettes anymore because my legs are messed up, or like last night where I couldn't get on video because my stomach's messed up, I'm having health issues. So even though I do that, and even though I still have bipolar disorder, and I still have PTSD, I had a nightmare the other day. I still have nightmares that will never go away. So even though I do this stuff, and even though sometimes I get on here, I'm exhausted, I do it because no one else is. And the ones that aren't telling you the truth. They just want you to know what they want you to know. I want you to be able to examine life, examine what I say, and use it. Use it. That's it. That's my message for the end of the week. Tomorrow we'll start our new week. I hope everybody had a good week, though. I had a good week. It's just yesterday was bad. Last night was bad. And I was thinking about that. I'm not going to have one day ruin my whole week. I want you guys to be better people. The only way you guys are going to be better people is by recognizing your talents inside you. We need to stick together. We need to be one unit, one mind, one spirit, one body, one. They can't break that. People that want to use you will not be able to break that. They can't break that. That's a Roman line. That's how it works, man. Discipline, knowledge, knowing that you're not alone, knowing you have your partner right there so that if you mess up, I got you. So I love you guys. Behave yourself. Be safe when you're traveling. Be safe when you get there. You never know what happens, whether it be good or bad. Learn from everything around you. Never blow off something. You can always learn from it. Even some person on the bench that says hi to you. Always learn from somebody. Don't just blow it off. Always learn from your surroundings. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, but from theirs. You cannot possibly ask somebody to always come to you. Sometimes they don't know how to get up. I didn't know how to get up. I knew I needed to change, and had it not been for Sophia, I would never have been here. So yes, sometimes it's going to have to be that someone picks you up. It's okay. Here I am. And I will always be here until I'm not. Take advantage of it while I'm still here. Be understanding of yourself that you're not God. Did you say be safe, take care of your health and your wealth? That's wonderful. No, that's all great. Let me amend that last statement. Take care of your mind. Your mind's more important than both of those things together. Jesus. You know, sometimes gerbils, they're on their wheel for too long, and they say kind of weird stuff when they're on their wheel. Anyway, be understanding that you have limits. You're not God. You cannot save everybody. You have to teach them how to save themselves. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fill your mind with knowledge so that you may be able to save yourself. Health and wealth are the last things you should be worrying about, because that's the problem with this world today, Denise Joyce. Too many people are too protective of their health and their wealth, and so they don't do nothing. No, I disagree with you. I don't agree with you, and I will never agree with you on that. Your health is the last thing on this planet you should be worrying about in the middle of a war. Just saying. I don't agree with you, Denise. Okay? So I'm telling you, kind of just back off that statement. We can have a conversation later. I'm telling you that's not a correct perspective, because I don't have my health. My mind is the only thing I have that's worth a damn right now. It's what's getting me through. It's what got me through being homeless. Some people that are on the streets do not have their health. It's a bit of a weird statement to say, but I digress. Be understanding of yourself, though, that you cannot be everywhere at once, because maybe your legs don't work and you don't have your health, which is why you have your mind. Without your mind, your body is nothing. Your body is nothing. God says that the grace without faith is like the body without the spirit. It's nothing. It's empty. Your body is just dirt. That's what it is. It's dirt. It's worm food. Your mind is what's important. That's what's going to change the world. Well, God doesn't agree with you either, Denise, is what I'm trying to nicely tell you. And you're like giving information on here about things that I don't teach, Denise Joyce. And you and I are going to have a conversation as soon as this live's done about just things that don't make sense. Anyway. I'm not going to say it. I was going to say something really mean. Sometimes people are raised in communist countries that don't understand that in Christian countries, we don't teach that. Your mind is the most important thing. It's more important than your body by a significant amount. And there is nothing you can do to prove it wrong. Okay? I hate when people do that. I really do. Truly. Just so you know that. Completely read the vibe. Yeah, game is over. Game is over. Excuse me. Thank you. The owner of the business says you're wrong. So shush it up. Well, I'll have a discussion with you later if you want to have a discussion why you're wrong. It's not a scriptural concept. Thank you. Your mental health comes before your mental health can change your physical health, Denise. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why there's a chicken and egg thing that goes on with depression. I apologize. I was just about to get off here. Okay, but apparently there is a disagreement here that needs to be solved right now, so it never happens again, especially on here. Does depression cause pain, or does pain cause depression? It can be both. But here's what I know. The one secret, dirty secret about depression is depression can cause physical pain. Because Tanya Denise, get offline, please. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. In that conversation. Listen to me very carefully, Denise Joyce. When you start your own business, you can have your own philosophies. Okay? You're doing exactly what I corrected Anna about. Right? Now, I'm sorry that I have to do this on live because you decided to do this on live and embarrass you. So let me tell you how smart I am. Denise Joyce is a lawyer, has been educated, okay? So here's the definition of schooling someone with a degree. You can do nothing without your mind. There's lots of people that don't have arms and legs that do lots of things with their mind. And that's the game. Have a good night's sleep, y'all. Me and Denise are about to fight now. Okay? Because she just... Y'all got to understand, Denise was raised in a communist country, and she doesn't know American freedom. She doesn't understand what we believe in here. And you'll have to forgive her for that. And when I ask a person to stop, and then I have to end up embarrassing them online. Okay? I'm Daryl Phillips, and I am owner of Noir Prodigy Gaming. We teach a certain thing here. I don't teach atheism here either. So if you're an atheist, you're trying to tell me that you can do this without some sort of belief system, I'm going to correct you too. I teach, you don't have to believe in God here, but you do have to believe, and Denise says she's a Christian, and the Bible says that she's wrong. So I don't really understand where we're going here. I mean, I'm sorry that this always ends up happening to my poor friends that try to sit there and correct me while I'm on a live. So that then they get embarrassed. That's right. But here's the thing. I can tell you this. When I was walking on the streets, right? All those years ago, one of the reasons why I was in so much agony inside me is because my mind wasn't doing anything. It was idle. I was doing nothing with my talents. I'm not even talking about necessarily doing anything with your talents. I'm saying everybody always asks me. See, this life never had to be this long. I was just about to get off, but then the morons have to get on. Check this out. Yeah, I know you're tired of pain. But Lori, the question of the day is, you know how to get through it. You've always known how to get through it. Why is that? Because you just suck it up? No, that's your mind working. That's why I was always able to get through it. It's something that I tried to convince myself I was weak a long time ago. All right? I tried to convince myself I was weak. I was a weak man. Okay? And in many ways I was. But here's the thing that I never considered. Part of this change is that all this time I was calling myself weak. I never was weak. I was getting through. How many of you guys have ever slept on a park bench in 110 degree weather for months at a time? Anybody? Denise, have you ever done that? Do you think that was because I was so physically gifted? Or do you think that my mind got me through it? Had I not had a strong mind, I would never have gotten through homelessness, y'all. You cannot. There's a woman who gets on here, and y'all have seen her. She gets on. Her name is Megan. What would you tell her, Denise? Worry about your body. Don't worry about your mind. She's in agony. She had a stroke in the springtime. She's doing the whole physical thing. But yet every day I talk to her, she's in physical pain every day, even when she's taking painkillers. You know what gets her through her day? When I talk to her and be a friend to her. That's the mind. Only the mind gets you through that. If I didn't work on my mental health, okay, I would have been dead. Because people can actually give up their life. Did you know that, Denise? Did you know that people can actually give up their life? That's why my grandfather's a good example of this. Well, I have, Lori. It's sucky, but it's not a correct perspective. I didn't have a correct perspective about that. But check this out. My grandfather beat cancer. Okay. And then when it came back, a lot of people think that he gave up. And he died. When they removed his man parts, his balls, they said that he gave up. And he just allowed himself to die. That's right. That's the mind, Tanya. That's not the body. The body doesn't cause that. Sir Dr. John Eccles proved that the mind and the body are separate entities. He won a Nobel Prize in 1979. Every neurologist, that's right, Lori. Every neurologist. And Denise, I hope you're paying attention to these comments. All of the comments, not just Daryl's. Tanya was not agreeing with you. You misunderstood. Maybe she should have spoken Portuguese. We're trying to tell you something here. That yes, you worry about the body, but sometimes the body gives out. How do you get through that? So no, the body is not the most important thing. I had a stroke in November. How was I able to get through it? Because I took care of my health? You know I don't take care of my health. I still smoke. Sometimes I drink a little bit. No. How am I able to do this after last night writhing in pain? Was that my physical health? My body? Because I'm so healthy? No. It was my will to do it. That is the mind. So Dr. John Eccles won a Nobel Prize in 1979. Every neurologist and every neurosurgeon has to study his works. And at that time, evolutionists and atheists were trying to prove that the mind and the body were the mind was the function of the body, of the brain. That they weren't separate entities; they were the same thing. Dr. John Eccles, through some very sophisticated proofs, some very sophisticated studies, proved that not only is the mind separate from the body, the mind, or mind is separate from the brain, that his analogy was perfect. His analogy was the mind is to the body, to the brain, body. Mind is to the brain as the librarian is to the library. They are separate entities, but the librarian accesses the library. That's why you can walk down the street, smell some hot cocoa on a cold day, and it reminds you of grandma's house when you were 3. Got it? That's why PTSD exists. Because there are some things that happen in your life that are so tragic and so terrible that it can put you right back in that situation, even though it's been years. It happens to me all the time. So how should I take care of my physical body, Denise? My physical body's going to wear down. It's going to turn into worm food. No, the strongest. Thank you. Denise, are you reading this yet? Are you going to fight us all? Denise, you lost. Thank you guys for backing me up. I hate it. I hate it when I feel like I'm always arguing with people and they're like, "You're wrong, Daryl." Okay, well, argue with all of us then. No, you don't have the right to say that gravity doesn't exist if you want to fly. I have the right to tell you you're a moron. Okay? All right. Now, can I move on and can we close this out now? Thank you. Now that we... Denise, you might have been a great lawyer, but you're not better than me at this. All right? I love you. Love you. You're great at many, many things, and you're such a help to me, but you need to know your role sometimes. I own this business, and this is what I teach. It's so important because I'm dealing with mental illness. Mental illness. Not Pilates. Yeah, some people can do Pilates. Me and Sophia will never be able to do Pilates. I saw a Pilates place when Sophia went to her appointment the other day. There's a Pilates place right there by the 7-Eleven. I could have gone. Should have got me a membership for Denise. That's a long ways away. There's close to Pilates place. But anyway, thank y'all. Thanks for playing. Thanks for playing the game. You lost. Have a good night's sleep, y'all. I'd like to close this out now. Okay? Remember, life is fleeting. So you go outside your box, you'll learn something new. Like, you don't stick to the same things. So when you're wrong about something, for example, you admit you're wrong. I was wrong about so many things. Yeah, by the way, Lori, your mom ain't surviving because her body is surviving. She's surviving because her mind is allowing her to. God, thank you guys. I love it. I love it. I love all of the extracurriculars. This is like the Navy SEALs coming in and just executing some criminals right here. Denise, you are getting schooled, and we're going to have a conversation still afterwards so that you don't get embarrassed anymore. Thank you. Remember, life is fleeting. You're not promised your next breath. So go outside your box and learn something new. Like, for example, that the mind is more important than the body. Okay? The mind is more important than the body. It's the thing that's going to help you survive through the most worst things you can ever imagine. Work on your physical health if you want to, but your mind comes first. Yeah, you got schooled, Denise. Yeah, you did. And now you're embarrassing yourself some more by showing how hard-headed you are. You got schooled. Got schooled. Denise has like this problem with like when she is wrong and really wrong, she'll keep being wrong over and over again. She has no evidence that she's right. So, but what she'll do is she'll just keep going. So we're gonna end this now. She got schooled, she got embarrassed, and now she's doing her little gerbil thing that's gonna irritate me, and then I'm gonna start yelling again. All right, so check this out. You never know what you can find out about yourself. Okay? I appreciate everybody that came on here to my defense and my stuff. Okay? Thank you. That's how, by the way, you just saw how Roman Legion is. Yeah, it is true. Oh, really? That's cool. That's cool, Lori. Denise, go to bed. We're going to have a conversation after this. You're actually embarrassing yourself, and I feel sorry for you. Okay? You really are making yourself look really bad. We do change here. You don't... Let me tell you something about change. Okay? You don't get to have a theory, and when the theory doesn't work because the evidence doesn't fit, you don't get to throw out the evidence to fit your theory. When new evidence is applied to a situation, and you're a lawyer, Denise, you understand the idea of evidence. When evidence is applied to your case, you need to add the evidence. Denise, you may have been trained as a lawyer, but I'm a better lawyer than you are. That's what I did for God. That's what preachers are. I watched my father defend his faith all of my life. But preachers aren't looked at like that. We have to defend our faith all the time. That's what apologetics is. That's what's called more apologia gaming. Comes from the word Christian defense. It's defense, apologia. Okay? You accept the evidence in there. The evidence, whole bunch of people are showing you all of these different examples in which you're wrong. You have showed no evidence in which you're right. If this was a judge, if this was a case in front of a court, your case just got thrown out. Now I'm going to let y'all go now, and then I'm going to yell at Denise for a while. Okay? About getting on here and starting an argument. Okay? Especially when she thought I was alone. Remember, Denise, you're not alone. I definitely am not alone anymore. Thank God. Thank God I'm reminded about that every time I'm on here, so that I can stop defending things I say by myself. Thank you guys for defending me. So stupid, man. Some people are just idiotic like that. That's why Anna's not allowed on here anymore. Arguing about everything, you know. It's like, Jesus, just, dude, listen and accept the evidence. If you have something to counter the evidence, it's fine. No, you opinions. I don't want opinions. We're dealing with people's lives here. Denise, Joyce, do you want booted? Tell me something. What opinion would you have for a suicide person that wants to kill themselves? What opinion would you have them to get through it? Would you have Pilates class for them? I want you to tell everybody what your solution is to a person that just told you that they want to die today. Tell me what health thing they should do. I want to hear this. You don't have a right to your opinion on here. You better bring facts when you're challenging me. Do you understand? Because we're dealing with people that want to commit suicide or maybe hurt somebody. Denise. We're not dealing with I want to be 5 pounds flat, short, skinnier. We're dealing with people that have nightmares so bad, like myself, that are bad. It's like Glenn says. It's like Glenn Beck says. Get educated. Don't just spurt stuff out of your mouth because that's what you believe in. Belief means almost nothing to God. It's faith that he wants from you. So if you're a Christian, you can understand this concept. Okay? Did you know that one of the greatest butt rippings I've ever read in my life? I know you're not a psychologist or a lawyer. You're trying to tell people that their physical health is more important than their mental. On a place in which we teach the mental aspect of things. Maybe you can go to some YouTube channel in which they talk about Pilates. There's plenty of them on there. Lori, do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I have to deal with? I'm getting off now. And Denise, I'm going to rip you apart as soon as I'm done here. You're never going to do that again, or you're not going to get on one of my lives again. Got it? What you just did there's a difference in starting a conversation. But when it's overwhelming evidence from somebody and you can't even accept it, that makes you a bad lawyer. So, if you'll excuse me, because now I was feeling good about this whole life, but now I'm really irritable. Again. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. What an asshole. Communism. It fucking messes people's mind up, man. Screwed up stuff. Oh, man. Ugh. Just think Kamala wants that. Bye. You guys have a great night's sleep. Okay? Behave yourself. Okay? I'm defending you. There are people out there that have that kind of ignorance. There are people out there that will tell you really bad advice. You have to examine the evidence for yourself. So, for example, when I say something to you, I demand you examine the evidence. I don't ask you to just listen. Dwan, for example, I tell him to look up things all the time. Now, he's never going to be like me. But even Lori will ask me questions, things I've said before. You can't get knowledgeable without it. Some people they just spurt stuff out of their mouth and they think it's okay. Well, that's never been okay with me. I don't have anybody around me like that. And when they are like that, they usually eventually leave me alone because I don't want them around me. I want people that's going to help other people. It's not a help to other people when your opinion is detrimental to their heart, to their soul. Suicide victims, people with PTSD. And Denise, if you're not a psychologist, then what the fuck are you doing talking to me then? Because I talk to you about a lot of stuff that I'm to talk about on here. Then you can't ever be close to me more than just a friend. You can't work for this. You can't work for me. Never. Because if someone X is really depressed and you tell them, well, go do Pilates. For shame, man. For shame. Dwan weighed 450 pounds when he got here. He worried about his physical health, which helped his mental health. It was my suggestion. But at the same time, he didn't just do it because of physical health. He did it because it made him look good. It's a psychological thing. It's not the health part of it. He's always going to be 300 pounds. Love you guys. No, I'm not going to stroke myself again. I'd have punched her in the face, though. Idiots. Morons exist in this world, and a lot of them have degrees. It's just dumb. But anyway, love you guys. Behave yourself. Until tomorrow, I will start the week tomorrow. May the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye. Stupid ass.